said before, none of us, this would have happened. It hadn't been for the leadership of Senator Doug Johnson 20-some years ago to say, you know what, we need to do more of this in rural Minnesota. So I'd love to have Senator Johnson come up and say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. I'm old and retired, and occasionally I get out of the home. And this, of course, was something that I wouldn't miss. And it's not about me, and it's not about elected officials. It's not about appointed officials. It's about you, the employees. Because it's just like a car salesman. If they have a good car to sell, they're going to be more successful. And we have employees in Ely and northeastern Minnesota, and when we're able to convince governments from other parts of the state or Washington or private corporations, when we say we have good, productive employees that come to work, you prove us right, and thank you for that. I would like to acknowledge my wife, Denise. She used to work at the Capitol too, and actually Ward Einess likes her better than me. And of course, Nancy, the mayor's wife, who we've gotten to know and enjoyed spending time with. I had the pleasure of meeting some of your counselors today I hadn't met before, Heidi Umerza and John Lindros, and I didn't meet. If there's some other new ones here, I didn't meet you yet, so would look forward to that. But this truly was a bipartisan effort. And, you know, as politicians, there's times when we do our political stuff. But when it comes to getting jobs, quality jobs for people, we can't look at you, the employees, as being Democrats or Republicans, but good employees and good Minnesotans and good Americans. And that's how this project came together originally, and how it's been expanded in recent years. This was a bipartisan effort. I know that Senator Tom Bach and Representative David Dill, who asked me to extend their congratulations today, they're not fishing, they're not hunting, they're out recruiting. True story. Tom Bach has been meeting with some companies in the metropolitan area. David Dill is meeting with some companies outside the metropolitan area, looking at bringing additional employment to our region. So it's not that they didn't want to be here, but they're out trying to do some additional things. And bipartisan, it took the support of Commissioner Lehman to support the construction funds that were needed for the facility. It took the bipartisan mayor of Ely. You know, he can be a pain. And to Commissioner Ward Einess and the department, thank you so much. Ward and I spent a lot of time together during the period of time that I chaired the Senate Tax Committee. Ward worked for the Republican caucus in St. Paul. He worked directly for Senator Bill Belanger from Bloomington, who was the ranking Republican on the Senate Tax Committee that I chaired. And we had many, many meetings in my office. We included Ward and Senator Belanger in our decision-making process. And it was always fun to see Ward, but I couldn't quite figure out why I saw him so much in my office, even when we didn't have a meeting. And I'm a little slow, but I found out that he had developed a friendship with one of the women employees of mine. Her name was Zora. And it wasn't just tax policy. It wasn't just tax policy that Ward was interested in my offices. Are you blushing?
I am, I think.
But he was wonderful. And this facility started as a dream. And I was telling some of the department folks earlier that some of the commissioner seemed supportive when we first floated this idea. But some of the folks that worked in the offices in St. Paul said, crazy idea. It'll never work. Ely, Minnesota? And I kept saying, well, you know, when I send my federal income taxes, I send them to Ogden, Utah. And I just can't believe that there isn't a way that with computers that we can't do this kind of thing in Ely, Minnesota, where we had been hit so hard by unemployment, underemployment, and you people proved us right.